Welcome to the Great British Mickey Waffle for August 2025. August means sunshine, barbecues, beach parties and drinking wine feeling fine here in the UK. But thunderstorms, insane humidity and of course, Halloween in Orlando. We are super excited to have you with us today, so sit back, grab a snack and welcome to the show.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I
go. It's one of those shows this month that there is a strong possibility that by the time you're listening, one or more of us are either at the airport, on a flight, or even already in Walt Disney World. We're on the countdown as we record, and even though our live shows are having a little summer vacation, we are excited to bring you the podcast today. Remember, all our previous content and episodes are available at any podcast provider, and if you prefer to see the expressions on our faces as we record, YouTube will be your friend for that. Everything's on our channel, The Great British Mickey Waffle. And obviously, with multiple trips this month, make sure you like and subscribe to our socials and you won't miss any of the lives or content that comes to you directly from the sunshine state. I can't say that, isn't it? I've used up all my words already.
Yeah,
I know.
they should make it so complicated to say.
I know. It's like a tongue twister, isn't it?
Sunshine state.
Sunshine. I can't think of the one that's been able to say it easiest.
Yeah. So I'm sure you're fed up with the sound of my voice, and you'll be glad that this is the last month I'm hosting for a while. But it seems sensible to round up our tour of the epic EPCOT World Showcase. With me today, donning their national costumes for our final three countries are Ben and Becca, Robin and Simon, and John.
Hello. All right. I just think
so
you're on this bit now where you've done that much hosting that you're now hoping it's going to be 2027 by the time you have to actually lead a show ever again. I think that's basically it.
Without a doubt.
I think at least early 2026, if not mid 2026.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start doing like a random generator, but we'll take Claire's name out so everyone else gets.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm away that week.
To be fair, though, I am slightly disappointed with you all that you haven't made the effort and put on national costume. I was expecting, Grenadier Guard.
I've gone for the Scottish.
A stripy T-shirt with some onions and a bell.
I've gone for Long Country.
You've gone for Grace.
That is not in World Showcase. I mean, that's a whole other podcast.
It's wishful thinking.
I've gone for the Luke Carpenter from Neighbours look with the Florence Polo shirt. So.
Wow, that's a flashback.
Target reference.
Yeah, that's a flash reference, that one.
But we all understood it, so it's fine. So we have just got 3 countries left, and last month we concluded with some delicious snacks in Morocco. So it's time to move on, and we're going to get into it straight away because I'm sure we'll have some conversation at the end actually about other things. So it is allons vite en France. It is time to go to France. Let's head on that way down the World Showcase promenade. The first thing that you come to when you move out of Morocco past the bathrooms is that sort of dead space on the left-hand side that they use for
I thought you were about to say
festivals.
the martini stand.
No, that's slightly further down. You've got to get past the Bell meet and greet to get to the martini stand.
Yes. There we go.
But there's that space on the left-hand side that certainly in Food and Wine has always got the Brazilian booth in it. Not the booth that does Brazil.
We started on that last one. We started with that comment last month. I can't have that 2 months in a row where I make a comment about Brazilians. That's not going to be good.
It's the cheese bread stand, as my child calls it. Where's the cheese bread? Which is slightly better than the other option. But yeah, there's nothing there. It's just like this sort of garden area, a couple of benches. There's not even any charging points or anything.
No.
I
don't even think I've been down there.
Yeah, you just keep going.
It's just
it's just an empty space. Yeah.
Yeah.
But on the opposite side of that, there is on the water side, there is the Belle meet and greet, and that is the only place you can meet her in her blue and white costume, in her village dress, I think it is called.
That explains why there's always a massive line then.
Of middle-aged men. Oh, did I say that out loud? I believe it was one of Lloyd's favourite meet and greets. He used to talk about meeting Belle there. So Belle and the Little Mermaid in Magic Kingdom were two of his favourites.
Wow.
Obviously, just because the boys were with him. But so there was obviously the France Pavilion has changed over the last few years. I'm trying to remember how long ago it was that they did the big expansion round back where Ratatouille area is. Is it like pre-COVID, like 2020?
It was during COVID. It was like 2020, 2021.
Was it?
Yeah, they'd started it. I remember they were in 2019 and they started it. It was just where they were, because that was also the same time they were building Guardians at the same time.
It's 21, because 21 was Ratatouille, 22 was Guardians, 23 was Tron.
Gosh, I didn't realise Ratatouille was that late. I thought it was pre-COVID.
21 was Guardians. No, it wasn't. So not.
No, it's 22.
No, Guardians was like 22, 23.
Wow.
Tron was 23.
I can't believe this was only like 4 or 5 years ago.
Gianna's was the only thing that opened last year.
But that's the thing. So that extension to the pavilion that was into that dead space behind it actually has made it probably one of the biggest pavilions in World Showcase. And it's got a huge selection of shops and dining. One attraction. You might technically two. Well, depending on the time of day.
The show that should never be discussed.
Attraction, I know, it's an ordeal. So
I see. This is a show an attraction.
Yeah.
I think
show
it
is an attraction.
Yeah,
definitely. It's just when you have two half shows, is that one attraction?
That alternate.
Yours two shows that only show half the time.
It's just like Identity Crisis. You
I
can't
must
decide
admit
which
though,
one it
Claire,
wants to
that expansion area
I'll give it a hand.
has kind of revolutionised the whole French pavilion in itself, because actually, whereas before you were basically, as you came in the opposite direction from the UK, you were looking at the Eiffel Tower, and it looked kind of quite quintessentially, okay, this might be what France looks like. The bit they've added into it, yes, they stole the entire ride from Disneyland Paris, but the whole feel is now completely Parisian, and the use of color, the use of the steelwork that they've used in the actual ride itself. It looks beautiful, and it's actually, I think it now does justice to that whole pavilion. Yeah,
it works really well. It really does.
It's a lovely area around the back. I just wish they'd. I almost wish they'd made it bigger. It just doesn't feel, because you sort of go around there. There's the queue, and then there's the creperie, and then the traditionally smelly French toilets.
Yes. They did the theming on those perfectly.
They did. They got the toilets spot on for France.
Yeah, but I think when you look at that whole pavilion, it does have that, as you say, John. It has that Parisian feel with I love that fountain that everyone sort of sits around the edge of, and you've got on the posters on there's like these big bollards around the pavilion where you've got these Art Deco posters that you do get around. If you were to think what's quintessentially 1920s Paris, it's exactly what you would expect to see. And I think the street decoration that's there, and the overall feel with the background loop music is really great. Actually, I think if you were to compare it to some of the other pavilions, when you walk in, you do immediately get that sense of being somewhere else. Yeah. It's not like this is a pavilion somewhere in EPCOT. This is like, I feel like I'm in France, apart from the temperature, obviously, is a little different.
I don't know. If you go during a heat wave, it can feel quite similar.
Yeah. And you've got that scale replica, as you said, John, of the Blackpool Tower at the back, which or the Eiffel Tower, I think it's meant to be, but it's about the same size as the Blackpool Tower. It looks scarily like it. What do you think about the layout and the pathways through the pavilion? Do you think that they add to the interest, or is it just irritating that you have to try and avoid people as they walk through narrow streets?
I like it, but I think where the original sort of layout was, where you went to like the patisserie, it feels really weird and disjointed that the other side doesn't feel as connected. It's just like tucked around the back, and it feels like, oh, everyone's going that way. The only way I've really thought about it is like when you walk through the shop to get through to the other side.
Yeah.
But
I do think walking around from that front part of the new back pit is kind of seamless in that it feels like it's always been there in a way.
yeah,
The decor and
sort of theming of
the theming of it feels they've done a really good job keeping it the same.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with you though. At the same time, as I feel like they've done such a good job of streamlining it, it does also at the same time feel like a bit of an afterthought that you have to go around the back. I wish there was more options to get to that area.
It's almost like
Yeah.
that back area is the main street, and then the part where the patisserie and thingy is are the back streets of Paris.
Yeah, do you know, I
Yeah.
kind of get that.
I think it's just because we knew that area was before.
Yeah.
So it's like we just knew that before, and then obviously since it's been updated and they've added this new section, it's just full of a lot of people, like you said, Claire.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it does feel a bit of a funneling point. You know, there's a lot of it's a bit of a thoroughfare. There's a lot
Yeah.
of people, but I would say that there is an area just as you're walking up towards that rear square where the fountain is and the Ratatouille attraction on the right hand side when you're sort of facing out across the water, looking at where the friendship boats dock. And if you get the timing right, and I managed to do this, someone recommended it to me, and I waited for about 20 minutes just as the sun was setting because you get amazing sunset
Oh, wow.
behind the Skyliner, and you can get some beautiful photos of the Skyliner and a friendship boat with the yacht and the beach club in the background and the lighthouse. You can get some in Crescent Lake, and it's a really stunning place to take photos just on that right hand side. So
Oh, that's
Yeah,
it. You'll
definitely.
catch us all hanging out there now at sunset.
I know, but the photos that I took are really special. Actually, I love them, and you can get a good little bit of video. Although you do get the noise from the skyline because obviously that's just after they're
Yeah.
taken off,
Yeah, you
so you
can
get
hear
the ding dings of the Skyliners as they're going past
the
repeatedly.
bit where it says, "Have you learned another? What languages did you learn today?"
Can I also add
Exactly.
as well,
So,
Claire? Because actually, I
and,
have a
and
little thing about this, and because of the way it's been designed, we may find that there's some people who would maybe plan to go and ride Ratatouille who can't find it, and they just don't see how there can be a whole ride system and ride building in behind what is visually there. And I think one of the things that we spoke about when we said we were going to explore each of these pavilions is actually to try and encourage people to go into these pavilions, but to go and explore. And I think this is one particular part that if you are just circumnavigating World Showcase, you'll miss it, and you'll miss that detail, and you'll miss that opportunity to go and ride what actually is a very good ride. And again, it's just one of them things that you've got to
so
explore.
yeah, let's talk about Ratatouille.
Mhm.
Let's talk about Remy's adventures, and what do we think of
I love
Ratatouille?
it.
Right?
I think it's great. I love it. I think
There's a
it's.
silence
I actually
there.
think
There's a
that
slightly
it's a
ominous.
perfect addition into Walt Disney World. I love the fact that Disneyland Paris has actually given something into Epcot that is very French themed, etc. But it fits. Yeah, but it fits.
Not just the toilets.
It's a great fit within the park,
It
and
does. Yeah.
again, it just has that little sort of Disney nuance about bringing an IP in, but not milking it to death as they have done so in other places. I hasten to add. But I just think I love it. I think it's a great ride, and it'll
Yeah.
certainly be on the list for this summer.
Yeah.
I think the only
Right.
frustration is that Disney've had that habit over the past few sort of 5 to 10 years where they've got an attraction in one park and it's successful, so they'll bring it to another park and just put it in. And I
Mm.
feel sometimes what they've done is they put the attraction in, they've copied it exactly, and just gone, "We'll make the rest fit." And that's how I feel that has happened. They've taken like the same size show building, the same everything, found that
Oh, there's
space at the
something
back,
that's a
back
bit
of
different
France.
though.
But
In Epcot it's 3D and in Paris it's
It
not.
is.
Yeah,
have
it
they
is.
changed
Yeah.
this?
Is it still 3D?
It's 3D in Paris.
I mean, I was there last week. It wasn't in 3D.
I've got photos of me in the queue with Paris
Yeah,
with black
it used to be
You know,
3D.
glasses on.
It,
Did you miss the
no,
glasses?
it was not in 3D. No one had any glasses. And in fact, I actually
Weird.
turned to
They've
my
changed
friend
it.
and went, I haven't got any 3D glasses. And she was like,
That's really
yeah,
odd.
we watched it.
It definitely was.
Oh.
It's been a while since we've been to Paris, but yeah, every time we've been, it's been 3D.
Yeah, I
We
always
wish it-
thought
and we-
it was. but-
We wish it wasn't.
Wish it wasn't.
Well, maybe I
Because-
just got really
yeah.
lucky. The 3D wasn't working right, and I ended up writing it. There were no
In
glasses.
the premiere way.
Yeah, it was great.
How
It
strange.
didn't make me feel sick.
Yeah.
No,
That's
It's one of the few 3D rides that does make me feel a bit queasy.
There are
Usually
some
they don't.
differences in the. There are a couple of differences in the queue line in Orlando. There's a slightly different scene on the way to the rooftop bit in the queue where Gusto is like floating above and going on. There is a section before that which is different to the Paris queue line.
Queue line in Orlando's longer, isn't it?
It is longer and it's got more
Yeah.
things in it. The one in Paris is kind of like a corridor.
I just looked it up online, and it's been made to a 2D experience in
Wow.
2024, and it's
Really?
no longer 3D.
Oh,
They broke the 3D
They
in
broke
Paris.
the
I
3D.
wonder why they
Clearly,
made so many ill. It was like the feedback forms you get at the end of the day, and it's like, what would you change?
That's
Turn off
true.
the 3D.
Yes.
Yeah. But it is a trackless attraction, which I like.
yeah.
It's not as smooth as it once was, but it is one of the only trackless attractions in. Is it the only, or is it one of the only trackless attractions in Orlando? At Disney World.
It's quite big.
used to be.
It's
but
one of the because Rise
Rise
is
is
as
Mickey
well.
Mickey and
Yeah.
Minnie's is
And Mickey and
trackless.
Minnie,
Yeah. But
It's the only
I
one in
think that,
Epcot.
Still got that designation. I
but
think
it's
it was the
still
first.
cool.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
It's a
Nice.
really a great way to experience a ride, and you do get slightly different experiences depending on the order of the mouse that you're traveling in, or the rat actually.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you think it has to
But-
be rideability, or is it like one a trip?
I love it.
Mm.
I think it's always the queue. The queue for me can be really
Right.
unpredictable. I find that you can
And
go
it's
there at
really
certain
hot.
times and there's no queue, and then other times it's queuing all the way, and they've got people out with the signs saying end of line starts here, and they've gone
in the
and they've
UK.
gone all the way round the corner. I think
I have to say, I don't remember the last time I did
Really?
Ratatouille in Orlando.
Mm.
In the last, I'd say in the last 6 trips that I've done in the last couple of years, I think
Oh wow!
I might have done it once
You see, for me,
in the
for
first
me, it's a
solo
must
trip
do.
that I did.
I think it was
a must-do
2023
for
was
me.
the last time we did it.
Didn't do it last year.
It's a must do if the queue isn't too long for me. I think if it's a 20-minute
Yeah.
or longer than
Yeah.
20 minutes, I'm probably out. But if it's 20 minutes, I'll give it a ride.
We were there for the extended evening hours, and
Oh.
so we'd send fireworks, but then we turned to go towards France, and then we saw the queue and went, we're not doing that. So we went over to Guardians instead for a much shorter queue.
Well, it wasn't a short queue, but it was definitely a better ride.
Yes.
Yeah, some
I think-
things you don't mind waiting a long time for.
Yeah.
It's not one I would wait a long time for, but it's a nice addition. I think it was a good addition to the whole French Pavilion. It's one
Yeah.
of my favourite pavilions, to be honest. I feel like it's quite authentic, so
I agree.
I don't mind it.
I still sort of feel that the exterior space in Disneyland Paris, just where the ride is, I think that for me just visually has a slight edge on that
a
space.
bit more
It's a
impressive.
bit, yeah, it just feels a bit more visually like wider and more expansive. But I think
Yeah.
they've done a good job. But
I think that's what I meant when I said it was disappointed they didn't make it bigger.
Yeah.
Actually, they could have extended that whole square to look a bit more like the one in Disneyland Paris with a bit more space around the fountain. And yeah, it does feel a little bit cramped back there. Weirdly, when they opened that attraction, there was a bit of uproar from, certainly in my experience, from our American friends, and certainly some of my American friends were very frustrated by the fact that they had just lifted it directly from Disneyland Paris, and half the ride was in English and half the ride was in
Yeah.
French. So it was that
Yeah.
weird sort of franglais
Yeah.
thing that happens in Disneyland Paris, where you get the first line of the story in English, the second line in French, and it sort of bounces backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
And as long as you speak one or the other, you get the gist of the story.
think if you've seen the film, you probably
Yeah,
would get the
yeah.
gist of what's going on.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not
It's
too
not hard.
complex.
No.
Yeah.
But there was definite
Yeah.
grumbles about the fact it was in French because it's not a language that is necessarily regularly learnt in the US. And so
Oh, did they moan?
I didn't even
Did they moan
didn't
when
even
like
think about
Motor
it.
Action Stunt Show had that opening bit in French? I bet nobody moaned about that.
Well, this is it. I mean, it was just an interesting phenomenon for me because I didn't expect anyone to really care because I was so used to having ridden it in Disneyland Paris. It didn't even
No.
occur to me. You don't hear it, you just
Yeah.
get on with it. And so, yeah, there was definite chunter, shall we say, about that. So while we're back there, who's been to the creperie? And John, you can do the joke
No,
as
the
many
joke's been
times as you want.
for far too long. So, go
To-
for a little crepe in
Yeah.
Epcot is no longer amusing.
That was one of
Yeah.
our first. I think it was our 10th episode. I
It
think we
was, yeah.
covered that.
Was it
Yeah.
that? Was
It
it
was
that
that long
long ago that
ago.
joke
Yes.
first occurred?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's got staying power.
Yeah.
One of the better ones.
But yeah. Did you
Yeah.
go? You've been
I've
as
been
well.
there.
Yeah, we've been. I've been a couple of times.
What do you think?
Oh, it's okay.
It never looks very appetizing when I see photos.
The food wasn't bad. And it can be reasonably priced. So they do like a set menu, which is like a salad or a soup, I think, a savoury crepe and then a sweet crepe and a drink. Now, if you go with, that's a lot of food. You can't eat all that, I'll tell you now. I've tried, defeated. But if you go with a friend and you split all of that, it's actually a pretty cheap dinner, and you have a nice sit down. Someone brings you your food. You don't have to stand or try and find a bench to eat or a table or a trash can. It's not bad. It's not wonderful. It's not going to change any lives. But it's not bad. Yeah, I would go again.
Okay, that's a reasonable recommendation.
It doesn't. I don't think it'll hit the Instagram kind of viral food level. I don't think
No.
it's ever.
It just
hit.
looks quite brown and grey and bland.
If you
when
like
you look,
beige.
it's
If
beige.
you like crepes, you'll enjoy it, I think is the answer. If you don't like it, then it's not really for you.
It's probably not for you.
Yeah.
Who doesn't enjoy having a crepe?
Well,
Here we go. I've looked at it several times and never really felt that it was something that would be something I would enjoy. So I've not even made the effort to go and investigate, to be honest with you. But the reason I asked who'd been and what you thought, I've heard real varying reports. Some people say it was amazing. Other people say it's fine. Other people say it was a bit cold. The food wasn't great. So I guess everyone's got their own preferences, and much like many restaurants, and apart from the top few where everyone says they're amazing, there's always going to be a bit of a difference of
Yeah.
opinion. But if you were in the middle of a hot day in Epcot and you wanted to share a lunch with somebody, you could go and do that, and it would hit the mark.
Yeah.
Okay.
And from memory, I'm pretty sure they had Orangina as an offering as a drink, so I was quite happy because you
there
don't
we
often
go.
get
Shake the
that.
bottle, wait the drink.
Exactly. So it was worth it for
yeah.
me for that.
That makes it truly French
Yes.
to have Orangina. It really does.
It does,
That's like
yeah.
a holiday drink.
Yeah, it was
Quite
nice.
lemon factor.
So
And then back there, you've got a photo op in the corner, hidden down by the entrance to the Ratatouille attraction. There's the motorbike with a sidecar. That is there a sidecar, or is it just a motorbike? Actually, isn't it? It's like I'm thinking of Hagrid. There's a motorbike around the corner which has got everyone has a photo
is it
taken
just
on it.
one or is it two? I get it mixed up with Paris because
It's
Paris
one.
has got two, I think, one next
Yeah,
to
it's
each
just
other.
one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I've
Wasn't
got
enough
the
room.
The photo on my lock screen on my phone, I'm just looking at it, is Morgan and Millie sitting on that motorbike.
I love it.
So that's how I remember it's not a sidecar, it's actually just a motorbike. At a jaunty angle. But it's quite cool. Quite a cool picture. What else is around there? You've got the fountain with all the little rats holding the champagne bottles that
They've often got a nice
Great.
little
Looks
photo
cute.
pass there as well with some.
Yes.
Oh, do they? I don't think
Yes.
I've ever seen that.
Oh, I've definitely done some dodgy poses there. They get you to stare at something on the floor, like a piece of cheese, and look
Yep.
shocked. And
Oh,
it's
wow.
meant to be Remy running with a piece of cheese, like
Yeah.
Right.
But then
I
don't
mean-
forget to add the magic shot.
and
It's
it's
just
all
you
the good
staring at the
angles,
floor.
just from down like here and getting you like it's all the best angles.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Does that cover the back of the pavilion? I mean, obviously, one of the cool things to do is to take a ride on the skyline, and you can see the size of the show building.
Yeah.
If you haven't done that,
If you
you
want
haven't
the
seen
back
around the
side
But
of
back.
that in
France,
itself
Right.
it is such a great
It's
thing
actually
to
quite
actually be
cool.
able to
Yeah.
do and to see, because it just gives you a different perspective of what you're actually looking at within the park, and actually just from a design point of view, how they've managed to basically shoehorn this ride building in behind what was the original French pavilion. And you're thinking that's
Yeah.
actually a very clever way of actually expanding.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I think if you're at all interested in the backstage stuff, do take a little trip on the Skyliner over to Hollywood Studios, or even Caribbean Beach, and just have a look and see what's around the back of
You
those
do.
EPCOT areas. You can see an awful lot, actually. Bins, maybe,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
car park,
Yeah.
and executive car parking. But yeah. So if we move back to the front of the pavilion, and what I'd say the older section, we've got a number of restaurants and actually quite a lot of shops. There's a lot of food and merchandise options in the front of the pavilion, and then the 1/2 attraction
In
show.
inverted commas.
Slush.
Good nap spots.
it's a show.
It's a show that will
In the
need you need to
outfish,
cancelling.
anyway.
So restaurant wise, we've got
Yeah.
Chef de France.
Well,
I'll
yeah.
let you know in a couple of weeks.
And
if they're
also,
really good.
if you do get
Yeah.
into Chef de France, if you're actually sitting in the conservatory area, which is basically on the left-hand side as you're walking into the pavilion, you actually get the great view of people watching for the entire duration of your meal. It's one of those real nice places to just sit and enjoy people walking past you, and some of them maybe enjoying the park, maybe some of them not quite so much as well. It's one, and they just don't know
Depends on
that
the
you're
time of
watching
day
them.
and how
Right?
hot it
It's one of those places that you kind of blend in. But yeah, I like Chef de France. I've never tried Michel Paul purely from the fact it's dead expensive.
Yeah. Monsieur
Yeah.
Paul seems astronomically expensive. And I know in previous shows we've talked about things like Tekumite and Monsieur Paul seems to be almost bordering
I'm sure it's
Victoria and
very
Albert's
good, but
cost.
I just think there's better.
It's a difficult thing to justify when you're looking at other restaurants. When you're looking through the My Disney Experience app, looking like, okay, what restaurants do I want to eat at? And then just sticks at being like expensive, but also inside the park. Because
Well,
they said
that's the bit for
Victoria and
me,
Albert's, you're outside.
Yeah.
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 It's
Do I want to go and
Parkite.
spend $300 a head to sit next to the sweaty person in their cut-off shorts and vest top?
There is a dress code, I think.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
But at park attire, they can't turn you away in park
Yeah.
attire when you're in the park. It used to be similar for when we get to Canada, but they obviously they changed that quite a lot. So I just there's something about Monsieur Paul that
I'm not going
I've never
anywhere
been.
that's
No way.
$200 a dinner. I'm not going to get enough enjoyment out of my food for $400 each.
No,
Yeah.
I'm constantly going. It's $200.
Yeah,
I need to have the
it
most
would
expensive.
ruin it
Yeah.
for me.
I'm too
prob-
fussy with
Yeah.
my food
It'd
as well.
probably be one of those
Also
meals when
me.
it turns up
Yeah.
and it's on the plate, and you're like, "Is that it? Is that it?" You know,
Yeah.
Is that
That's
what's
my
to
magnifying glass
we're
to try
stopping
and
at
find the
McDonald's on
food.
the way back to the villa.
That's it's not a lot
I
of
don't
fun.
know.
Is
For
it?
me, there's a lot of courses on there. I know it sounds like a lot of money, but there are quite a few courses. But
So 10 courses,
Wow.
isn't it?
Is it
I
10?
don't know whether it's
Yeah, but it'd be like a thimble full of
Yeah.
Yeah.
soup
Yeah.
and
it's still $195
Yeah,
plus
a mushroom
tax,
with a
And
flower
it's one
on
of those is
gratuity.
fish.
But this is
Yeah.
the thing,
Yeah,
but this is in
fish
park, the
course.
ticket price on top. You
No.
have to pay to get in
Yeah.
there.
And if you want the wine pairings, then it's a whole nother level.
That's nearly
Yeah.
in competition with what was it, the new Spaceship Earth Lounge.
Yeah.
But the fireworks viewing for $180. So
180 or 980.
no, 180. It was either 180 or 190, but I think it was 180.
Yeah.
I
You
think
And then again,
So-
that's obviously plus tax. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
going to tip you over the 200 and it'll be like
Yeah.
$210, $220 by the time you pay tax.
I think we
Um,
definitely pick. I mean, we haven't been to Chefs de France for a while since they stopped what was the best crepe that they had, which was the tartiflette de Savoie.
Yeah, but they couldn't have a crepe there
No,
around the corner. They've
but
got
it was,
more.
but they don't. They
But
haven't.
tartiflette doesn't really count as crepe.
Well, it's a
It's a
crepe
crepe
with
filled with.
Yeah,
smoked ham, onions, potatoes, and then
tartiflette.
melted reblochon cheese on, which was the
That sounds
stinkiest.
Nice.
Honestly,
Nah,
it was
you
the
used to
best.
make him sit up the other end of the table when he ordered
Do you know the
that.
only other place I've had that brilliantly was at King Ludwig's Castle in Disneyland Paris
Really?
in Disney Village.
Is that
Wow.
still,
They
is
used to
that
do
still
tar-
there? I've got a feeling that's
I
gone
don't know,
now.
but they used to do tartiflette, and it was amazing. It did stink though.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chef de France got a hot date there in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
We're going to do a team night out, and we'll let you know how we go.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to
I'm-
French
I'm-
onion
that's
soup in the
that's
middle of
top of
August.
my list, Claire. That's it.
And
Do
let's
they
have
still-
another look at the
You've got
menu.
Orangina
And
and good
wine.
bread.
I was
So if
gonna
nothing
say,
There
else,
we
you'll
are.
be good.
If they still have the
be
baguette
happy.
with the butter
Oh,
at the
yeah.
start, then
Salted
Yeah.
proper
Yeah.
butter.
Yes.
None of this whipped rubbish.
European style. Yeah.
Yeah. Lando Lakes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered those two restaurants. If you go further back, you get to L'Artisan de Glace.
Very
So
nice ice
the
cream shop. Must
ice
admit.
cream parlour
Yeah.
on the left-hand side.
Very good ice
I have
cream.
a confession. I have not been in there since it used to be the bakery, because every time I go past, there's always such a long line for the ice cream. I always go, nah, I don't want it that much.
And you know they've branched out to not just ice cream.
Well, they
Well,
do.
they
They
ice
do the
cream and stuff.
beignet. They do the ice cream beignet that I'm told is amazing.
Was
But
that the brioche one?
Yeah.
The croque.
Is
yeah,
it?
the croque.
Oh,
glace.
sorry, yeah, the brioche thing. Sorry, not beignet, brioche. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
I like the action that went with that, Robin. The little,
Well,
little
So for
squishy
those
fingers
listening
for
to the
people
podcast,
who are
please head to
listening.
the
That's
YouTube
how I
and
imagine it.
Is it? Little squishy finger. I'm not even going there. They also do an ice cream martini, which is
Might have to try that.
So after going to Chef de France, we're going.
We're going to go and get ice cream
Martinis.
martinis.
I'm glad
There
we're
you are.
staying at the boardwalk.
Not for Claire.
But there is
Stagger home.
definitely always a queue.
Yeah.
And I've heard that the ice cream's
It's well
outstanding.
worth it.
Yeah.
Ice cream itself is really good. though.
One of these days I'll
Yeah, it's
queue
worth-
up and
To do a
wait,
nice
but
sorbet as well,
unfortunately,
Robin.
I'm just
Which is, again, if you want something a little bit
I do
different,
like
so you get
sorbet.
proper full fat ice cream, or you can get sorbet as well. I'm waiting for the next place, Claire, because actually this is the
Yeah.
and
Keep walking
yeah,
back,
and people
and you get to
people
one of
won't
the
know it's
best
there if you
value
don't.
quick
Yeah, it
services.
actually looks. Yeah, it's one of those things that
Don't tell
you
anyone.
always. Yeah, but you
feel like
want
the
it to be a
secret's out
secret.
already. The
'Cause it-
queue.
Yeah,
Queue
and
moves
it's
fast though, 'cause
actually-
it's two sides.
Yeah, but-
Seating's a bit of an issue though.
I can get round. I get round that.
They take you food.
It actually is
Oh,
the
oh my God.
bargainest place in the
Yeah.
in
So-
probably the whole of World Showcase, and
I agree. The boulangerie patisserie at the back, Lazelle, is incredible value, and you can get some amazing
Yeah.
things, like a whole baguette for $3.
even if yeah,
Bring it on.
even
Freshly
if you're starting
Probably
your
about an
day
hour
off
before.
and you're wanting maybe a coffee and a croissant just to be really French
Mhm.
as you start your day, it's only $3 for a croissant, and again, just value for money. It's absolutely brilliant.
It's not expensive. Though.
Yeah.
And they're huge, and they're
Yeah.
fresh.
It used to be the place we would always go, especially when we wanted a quick service dining plan. Because before the new version of the dining plan, you could just do 3 snack credits or a meal. The way we
Yeah.
would make it work quite well.
And I know we talked about it as one of our top, when we did our live show about the top 10 restaurants in Walt Disney World of
Yeah.
all time. It was in there as a quick service because there is so much choice, and the pastries are amazing. They do a cheese plate if you want a cheese plate, if you want baguettes, they do hot food, they
Baguette
do
and cheese
sandwiches,
plate for a flight home, isn't it, Claire?
right? It certainly is. Do you know what? It's a game changer, and I think that people don't realise
and
the
the
selection
dessert, the
levels.
desserts are absolutely
that is available
incredible
back
as
there.
well. Yeah,
Yeah.
Desserts are
Yeah.
amazing.
Decent coffee, hot chocolate
And
made with like
desserts are
just
open all
liquid
day.
chocolate.
If you want
Yeah.
dessert for breakfast, there you go. Be
Yeah.
Well,
fine.
you're in Disney, you can do what you want.
Yeah.
Calories don't exist in Disney,
Yeah.
I don't think,
I
even when they
agree.
put them on the menus. But yeah, I think it's a really, and it is open early. So if you're in Epcot and maybe coming into International Gateway and you
It's
haven't
a
had
great
breakfast, you can
breakfast
squiz
spot,
back
yeah.
there and grab some breakfast.
The only problem is you don't know where to stop. It's like
There's so many things you want to eat.
and you think, oh,
Yeah,
one
they're
croissant
carrying
won't be
around.
enough. I better get a croissant and then that, and then but that
And a
looks
pan of
good as well. I
chocolate.
better
Yeah.
get 4
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. The macarons, they do a little box of macarons, which are amazing as well. In fact, I've not
And
found anything
actually,
that's bad.
it will feed the whole family. So if you've got people with you who only eat
totally.
certain things,
Mm.
there is the depth of menu that everyone will find something that will actually please them, and it'll keep the family quiet for a good number of hours. I think that's what we've found.
Definitely. So if we come back out of that area and come back down towards the fountain, there is some shops on the left-hand side. There are some shops on the left-hand side that have a variety of things. So that I think if I'm right, the first one is the Le Vin de France, which is the wine, the one that's got sort of it's got little gifts. It's got some of the ratatouille, and there is some Disneyland Paris merch in there sometimes as well.
Yeah, we've found Paris stuff in there.
Yeah, it's got cool aprons, and so it's got the ratatouille cookbook and various
Got
things.
some very French-looking stuff in it that you'd find on a French market in the south.
Yes,
Very patterned.
Yes, it is. But then, as you walk through that shop on the left-hand side, where the cash register is, there is also the wine
now we're
stand.
talking. Now we're talking.
That they serve a bit like in Italy. A bit like in Italy, there is a shop that sells you a glass of wine, and I have it on good authority that the Chablis and the champagne are very good in there. Apparently,
Don't you?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. I know for a fact the champagne is very good in there, because it's
wouldn't.
one of the places that we will
And it-
always used to send the kids off to get an
You can
ice
get
cream, and we
decent
went for a
champagne
glass
in
of
there.
champagne. It was just like, there you go.
You can get
Yeah.
there's about 4 or 5 different champagnes from what we would call Bollinger or Tattinger, French.
Yeah.
Shudder as we say it like that. And Veuve Clicquot is there definitely. I've had that many times from there. It's not cheap, but it is decent. But yeah, the Chablis is the wine that I always choose in there, and it's very, very good. So comes in a plastic glass, unfortunately, but we deal with that because we're at Epcot.
Yeah.
And then further down towards the front of the theatre that we'll come back to in a minute, there are some more shops. So there's the Souvenir de France, which has got I'm trying to think, it's got a variety of makeup, Guerlain fragrances. There's one which has got like handbags and Dior and high end stuff that I walk through, and I feel like I'm being judged by every single cast member that's working.
Yes, I know the one.
Yeah.
So you know the one I mean, Becca?
I
When
know
you
the
walk
one
and they
you
look
mean
at
because
you,
I've stopped and
and
looked
I'm
at the
like,
bags
this is
and then
not for
walked
me.
out because
So
I'm
they just give you that
feeling
look. It's like,
judged.
Yeah.
I walk out
they
thinking,
give you that
no,
look of, ooh, no,
This
no,
is not
no.
for you.
this is
No,
not.
you
it-
can't.
it-
You can't afford.
It's
You
very
can't. You
grizzy.
can't afford
Yeah.
to
Feels
shop
like,
it, do you?
These things are not for you.
Oh,
Um,
dear.
That's why I look at them
Yeah.
unless you're a pool.
But it's quite a nice little area to walk around, and there's lots of cosmetics and fragrances you can test out if you. Yeah, it's quite a pungent shop though, I tend to find.
Yes.
And as you walk through them, there's like a little archway in the middle, and you can walk through the back, and then there's a little courtyard with a couple of tables and like heavy metal bistro tables and chairs, and you can take a seat round there with your Chablis and sit and survey what's going on. It's quite nice. It's in the shade.
Very nice. Didn't know that was there.
Yeah.
Learning
It sort
something.
of backs almost onto the walkway round to the back of the pavilion. So it's
Mm.
just, if you were to walk towards Remy, it's just on the left hand side, on the other side of like the hedgy bit. So, but it's a nice little area. Let's do it. Let's talk about Impressions to
Come on, then,
France.
bring it on.
Ah.
Who
Who's
here-
done
who
the
has seen it?
Impressions to
Yeah.
France? I've
Who
seen
here
it.
has seen it?
I've seen
We
it.
have.
Fancy.
We
It
have.
takes
never
me
seen it.
back. Takes me back to my childhood, seeing
Have
Frank.
you never? Sorry, did you
Right.
say you've never seen it?
No.
We tried to with Jason, but
Right.
we had it planned, booked everything. But that night of Epcot, and they had one of those evenings where they did a corporate event, and they
no.
closed everything from like 6 o'clock.
There you go.
So it's
There's
like, it was
no
our luck.
I
excuse.
didn't
Come
know you
August,
hadn't done
then.
it.
Yeah.
Why do I have
Right.
a feeling we're going to be
we're
going
gonna
to
have
see
to
it
Yeah.
drag them.
in a few weeks'
Chef,
time?
Yep.
right. So there we have our plan for the evening. Chef de France
Yes.
and Impressions de France.
We have seen
And
the other one.
Yes.
What, the
It's a
Beauty and the Beast
sing
sing-along?
along.
Yes.
See, I haven't done that.
We were trying to go to
Oh,
see
well,
Impressions de
you have
France,
to do
and it wasn't
both
I think
then,
so.
that sounds like.
Oh, man.
One after the other.
Yeah.
Impressions de France is just,
an
it's
experience.
so,
The
it's
closest I've got
so
to it
out
is
of
listening
date.
to it on Deep Park Radio and going, what is
Right,
that?
so
That's the
you
closest I've...
cannot compare the soundtrack and what you watch. The soundtrack is incredible. It's absolutely beautiful. You've got Sanson, you've got Deleuze, you've got Debussy. It's an incredible soundtrack. Even the bit where you get the cyclist and he goes and it is, in my brain I see these 1970s cyclists in very short shorts going up a hill. But the soundtrack for Impressions de France is just exquisite. That is nothing like the film, which is based in like 1971. And it is a thing that I need them to update it, but I don't know if I want them to because it's so
In a way,
bad,
it
dreadful.
reminds me a little bit, of those safety films that they produced in the 70s, and it's just like, it's got totally robotic
They
acting.
are. It is like that.
And it's just that,
But like
it's
going up
just-
the
yeah.
escalator. Those sort of... that
yeah,
sort of one.
No, the
real
kid with the kite and
scary
the-
stuff,
the-
the farm one,
Elect-
the farm safety one is one that'll stay with me forever. Yeah, yeah.
Let's
I'm
put a
trying,
link to that
I'm
in the
trying to
Waffles
find
Arms
that.
so people know exactly
Yeah.
what you're talking about, John. Find it on YouTube.
My highlight
Scare a few children.
My highlight of it is, though, that they're at the market and everything's sold in francs.
Yeah.
And they've had
Yeah.
the euro since 2002.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still 30 years later than
Yeah.
anyone in that film. And it's the man in the market, and all you see is his hand, and the cigarette is burning away, and the ash on the cigarette is about 4 inches long. And it's like,
I feel
You're
like
just
this needs to be on
waiting for it to
Disney
drop.
Plus, but there'd be a warning before.
It is such
Yeah,
a biggest
yeah.
throwback
could be.
Yeah.
that you actually,
It does remind me
Yeah.
of holidays in France when I was
Yeah.
a kid, and all the things that you see in terms of, the Breton dancers in their costume with their lace hats, and then, the Riviera with the girls lying out on the boats and stuff. It's so stereotypical, but it is true. That's exactly what France was like in the 70s and early 80s.
Yep.
So for that, and I don't think, unless you ever experienced that, unless you've been to France and seen that, I don't think you would realise quite why it's so funny. And I do sit there and laugh all the way through.
Maybe
It's
we need
not
to
like
have
that
something to
anymore.
drink before we go and watch it.
We'll go for dinner and then we'll go.
Yeah.
Okay. So the other bits that are in France that we haven't talked about are, as Robin alluded to earlier, the Le Vin de Chef de France, which is opposite Chef de France, which is also occasionally named the Grey Goose slushy stand or the Grand Marnier slush stand, which is a must-do anytime anyone is in the French Pavilion.
Absolutely. It's the law.
Which do you prefer? Do you go?
I think I don't mind either, actually. I think I tend to go for the orange one, I think, is the one I would normally go for.
Yeah.
But I'd go for either.
I tend to go for the citron one, the lemon. I'm a traditionalist. But they don't last very long, so
But you got to drink them quick in the heat, otherwise you're just not
they
drinking
melt very
slushy.
quickly. Yeah.
Oh,
And
do you know
then-
what, actually? I'm looking at the menu. I must have the lemon one rather than the orange, because the orange one's got rum in, and maybe it's you that usually has the orange. Must be that way. I think I must be the one that has the lemon.
Does anyone remember the artist that used
Yeah.
to sit by the wall, just along
Yes.
from there? They had like the silhouette artists that do like the cutting of the
Yeah.
paper, and they had they had the caricature artist that you get at various people. I think they've still got some of those in Magic Kingdom next door to the Christmas shop. But I kind of miss them because that was so much
Yeah.
fun. That was like we had a silhouette of Millie done when she was probably about 4. That I've still got somewhere. It was very cool and very talented. And it's kind of sad they're not there anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
And there is another meet and greet, isn't there? There's Aurora occasionally meets and greets under the sort of canopy on the right hand side of the fountain.
Just as you're heading
Occasionally.
out towards Ratatouille area.
If Aurora's a favourite,
No.
I don't know anywhere else you can meet her actually in her pink dress.
It used to be at the Halloween party and the Christmas party.
Yeah, I think,
but
yeah.
Yeah, but
Don't know if
general
he's
meet
still
and
But
greet.
general meet
I
and
don't
greet,
think.
you're not.
I don't know even if any of the dinners she tends not to be in Akashus
I was just
or
going to say, I thought she was in Akashus.
Cinderella's Royal Table.
no.
Oh, she's
No.
not. Okay, didn't
She's
know
not
that.
a very popular character,
That's
unfortunately.
because she's sleeping all the time.
To be fair, I
She's
know that
old.
Yeah.
she. I know I've said this before, and I apologise to any cast members who might be friends with Aurora. She tends to look like a drag act. There is
makeup
something
is that
because she
way,
has
yeah.
to. Yeah, the makeup, and because she has to be super tall.
Yeah.
I think Aurora's of like 5'7" to 5'9". That's really tall for a princess.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not necessarily one of my favourite meet and greets.
Only met her at the Christmas party.
Yeah.
Anyway, are we done with France, do you
I feel
think?
like we're done with France.
Should we
Yeah.
head over the bridge or over the channel,
Head
as we
home.
are about to do? Because it's actually meant to represent the channel into the UK. So it is the UK Pavilion, the United Kingdom. It is not England, as lots of people call it. It's not Great Britain, because as we all know, they're two different things.
They are.
So John and I, we both had the opportunity to do a really long walk through the UK Pavilion with our friends Matt and Crystal at Married to a Disney Addict last summer. And I'm trying to think when they released that show.
I think
Probably
it took Matt
February or
quite a while
March
to
time,
edit.
wasn't it, John?
It was.
Yeah.
It was. We were
It took
there
us
for
quite a long time to
time,
record.
and
We were there. Right.
Yeah.
But we'll put a link to it in the Waffler's Arms, so if anyone wants to go back and listen to our lengthy walkthrough from back to front of the
think it
entire
was,
UK
yeah.
Pavilion. I think it was in 2 parts in the end, wasn't it? It was like 3 hours long. We had a really good time doing that, but I think, we'll try and do a bridged version of it today on this show.
I think as well, though, Claire.
What
I think
about
before we
coming
begin,
into the
I
UK?
just think it's pertinent to actually point out the fact that the podcast that we were very kindly listening to a number of years ago, they had an April Fool's show segment one time where they actually had the fact that one of the shops that was at the Rigton's tea shop was being turned into a little Tesco. Now, unbeknown to me at the time, now Josh, who spent last summer out there, if you've missed any of the Junior Waffle shows, he's now of an age where he probably, when hearing this story back, will be mightily embarrassed. But it was one of the funniest moments we've ever had when we were on holiday. And when he turned around, he said, "But I thought that was a Tesco." And this is the difference between the 1st of April and we were like mid-August. And he's like, "I thought they put a Tesco in there." And we looked at him and we was just like, "Oh my word, you actually believed that?" And it absolutely creased us completely. So I made a point of getting in touch with Jeffa just to tell him that the April Fool actually worked, but it took us until we saw it in real life to actually realise how good it was.
Do you think that's going to be Disney's next step now? Looking through IPs, it's going to be like, what partnerships can we do?
I hope
We can
not.
get like local
Spoons.
supermarkets. Yeah.
That's it. The Rose and Crown
Crowns have the
becomes a Wetherspoons.
Dread to me.
Just need to
Keep the
move.
name, thankfully.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can
Yeah.
put the toilets somewhere in Mexico.
Yeah, there we go.
You-
You can
Yeah.
start offering cheap breakfasts, £7 breakfasts.
Yeah.
Right? They'd make a mint. I can't believe, actually, do you know what? Rose and Crown Dining Room, if they opened for breakfast and did a full English, they'd make a ton of cash. They're missing an opportunity. They really are.
It'd be full
Yeah.
of Brits, though. That'd be the problem.
It would.
I
It'd be
did-
like
They might have an
Benjamin.
issue sourcing decent bacon, though. That might be the problem.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I've always wondered why it's not an Irish pub as well, because there's an Irish pub everywhere you go. And I know it's great, the UK, so Ireland, the Republic of Ireland isn't in that. But,
Northern Ireland
yeah.
still is.
yeah, exactly.
I,
Yeah,
I
never
think
Northern
if
Ireland.
you head down International Drive, though, I'm sure there's a
And
couple of Irish
Raglan
pubs
Road
down
on
there anyway. Don't-
Disney
Yeah.
Springs as well,
I'm sure there are.
which is perfect.
Yes, of course. Yes. So the background music starts on the bridge as you walk over the channel. And it is one of my favourite things about the UK Pavilion. And it's a really cool mix of things like the Grenadier Guards, British Grenadiers, Green Sleeves. You also get a bit of a Gilbert and Sullivan, HMS Pinafore overture comes in. At which point I start singing and dancing. So if anyone sees me in the UK Pavilion humming along, Usually with Morgan doing exactly the same. I love the background loop in the UK Pavilion. And as you come down that slope, you've got the tea gardens on the left-hand side, and it's not a garden where you can have tea.
It's a shame.
It's where they grow the flowers that flavour tea. So I think there's some bergamot growing there. There's certainly jasmine and various different flowers that flavour tea.
Smells
So
amazing.
it does. There's loads of butterflies around there as well. There's a little
Yeah, it's
butterfly
very
area.
pretty.
So
I do think they are missing a trick there that they don't have a tea stand to sell
Different
hot tea
teas.
of all those different flavours. And then they
Yeah.
can just have the direct tea bags that are influenced
Yeah.
by what is in the
Good
tea
shout.
garden.
Good shout, that.
I
that'd
think,
be a great idea.
Yeah.
and Twinings could
Or a
just
tea
partner-
room and have little tea. You can like go in, sit
Oh,
down,
afternoon
have cake.
tea.
Yeah, tea and
Yeah.
cake.
Proper
I feel like-
afternoon tea.
Well, now they've got rid of the tea room in the Grand Floridian.
Is it going to
maybe-
come back, do you think?
No, it's going to be a bar.
Is it?
At the back of it's going to be a bar at the back.
Did
of
I
the
know? Maybe I knew that
lobby.
already.
Yeah,
I
I
might
thought
the
have
bar
known
was
that.
actually in the middle of the Grand
Yeah.
Floridian there.
in completely the
Oh.
wrong place. Don't get
Yeah.
me started on that one. That's
Yeah.
that's a whole different show, I tell you. 'Cause
Yeah.
Oh, that's a whole
show.
other
Different
show.
Yes.
What's in the wrong place at Disney World?
Oh, that'd be a great show.
Yeah.
That'd be a
Mm.
great show. But there you go past in that back area. You can go down through the tea gardens out to the back, which takes you to like the little hedge maze. And it is hedge maze. I use the term hedge,
Loosely.
affectionately because it's like a
Waist
shrub
height.
maze.
Yeah.
Waist
It's like
height
a-
It's a
maze.
mini head.
They're not even waist height. They're sort of knee height.
Yeah.
Depends how big you are. But they are. It's just a little hedge maze. But it gives you the idea of what happens in stately homes and things we have over here. And then the bandstand. And I remember us having a very long conversation with Matt and Crystal about what is a bandstand, because it was a concept that they obviously have never experienced. And we're trying to explain, lots of villages, particularly on the seafront, will have a bandstand central to village fairs and the like.
Where the live music plays. It's exactly what it
It's
says on the
really
tin.
funny
It's
because
stand
actually that
exactly.
whole conversation with Matt and Crystal, the whole bit that I had to confess to was, as a teenager, the town we lived in Scotland had a bandstand, and it was a meeting point for basically every underage drinker in the town. And like there was like 3 secondary schools and in the town, and it was a meeting point for us all. I mean, it was just like it's the most amazing thing that you think about. I don't think a band had played there for years, but it kept us dry on a Friday night when you were out and your parents couldn't contact you because you never had a mobile phone and stuff like that. It was those were the days.
I'm sure they're used most routinely by the bands playing at Christmas, like the brass bands at Christmas. I tend to use them more than anything else, or the local underage kids. But that takes you down into that back area, which is Regency Street, I believe.
That
It's all-
back area
it's all a
where
bit
there should have
Bridgerton.
been a Mary
is.
Poppins
Back there.
ride
It
that
is,
just
yeah.
went seamlessly into the space behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be
Right.
Cherry
perfect.
Tree
It
Lane.
would have just been amazing.
It would have been perfect.
Would have been a really good territory lane.
We had a conversation about, I know, Becca,
Oh,
you've
yeah.
previously said they should totally do Muppets Christmas Carol
Yeah.
back there. They should have someone reading it on the bandstand. Like they have the bands. You could have someone reading Christmas Carol out there in the festival holidays.
Yeah.
Definitely. Roasted chestnuts,
Maybe
drinks.
just
It would be-
singing the songs from the film.
Indeed.
Do you know what's really funny here?
It's a missed
With
opportunity.
all the countries
And then we
that we've
talked
actually
about-
visited in the course of doing this, these podcasts, we've actually marvelled in the Imagineering of each of them. And then we get to the UK one, and we want to reimagineer it, or we want to change it.
Point out all the stuff that's missing.
Because it's how little
it's
UK we
so
feel it
funny.
is. It's a difficult
what?
thing, but it isn't. It's one of those.
I think it's got
Cleaner.
quite well. I
Yeah.
think it's got quite a good representation of the UK, and obviously there are different eras of things as you walk around. So Regency at the back, obviously, it is a bit Bridgerton, a little bit Pride and Prejudice if you're pre-Bridgerton, and it, right by the facade of the properties is truly beautiful. If you go right to the very back, you might find Pooh Bear meeting and greeting.
which is
The other
nice.
thing as well, we spoke to a cast member last year,
there
Claire,
are-
didn't we? And she was explaining it, and this is how much detail
We
is
did.
actually in these places. But they actually put together a timeline between each of the stores and how, not just with the flooring, but with the windows as well, you're actually going into different eras of British history, and you would miss it. You wouldn't. No, but you would miss it
I've
completely, and
never noticed.
it
We-
is so apparent once you know, and you're like, right.
Yeah.
And it was one of them real moments at which I'm probably as bad as anyone. Oh, it's the UK Pavilion. We'll have a walk through. We'll have a look at the shop, and then we'll go to the pub. Just typical Saturday, down when you go shopping, isn't it? So by being forced to go that little bit slower with Matt and Crystal, we actually cracked so much of the detail that is within each of those shops, particularly up the left-hand side, because I don't frequent them. For me, there's a load of British tat for sale in them, but the detail's amazing.
You're right though, because if you go in if you go in the back, which is the Lords, I think it's called Lords and Ladies, which is the bit in the Regency Square, we were laughing because they're like, oh, they sell Yardley fragrance, and I was like, oh, that makes me think of my grandma.
Yeah.
Yardley is like talcum powder and old woman smell, but they're selling it there like it's this amazing thing. I'm just like, no, that's like forget-me-not and lavender drawer sheets. And they sell like cashmere scarves, and there's even Downton Abbey merchandise in there. They got like tote bags and various things. I'm sure that's probably with the new series or a new film coming out, that's probably going to increase as well. But in there, was it in that shop that there's the expensive chandelier, John? The cast member told us about that crystal chandelier in there that makes it probably the most expensive shop in the whole.
The next bit on was the bit that sold shortbread and teddy bears and basically all them things.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
Grenadier Guard Mickeys and things like that. So yeah, that moves into the Tea Caddy, which is the thatched roof building is meant to look like the cottage that was meant to be Anne Hathaway's cottage. Anne Hathaway obviously was the wife of William Shakespeare, and had a connection to Henry VIII somehow, but no one really talks about it. And so that's the one that sells the ridiculously priced Quality Street.
Yeah.
$20 for a box.
A small box.
Bring
of
your
Quality
tin.
Street. And lots of stereotypical Grenadier Guards, plush and teapots. And I'm not sure why anyone would buy a teapot in Epcot. What are you going to do with it?
Carry it around all day, clearly.
Yeah, how many people are you going to hit with it?
Yeah, but you take it back to your hotel and you realise, hang on, most American hotels don't have a kettle. There's no kettle here, so I might need to go to Walmart. That's it.
Well, I don't want to speak ill of the American population, but when you realise that some of them microwave the water to make tea, you realise that there's some level of learning required there.
Maybe this is what they need to add in Epcot. That's what they need to do. There needs to be lots of educational
tutorials.
Yeah.
People would absolutely go mad for that.
Yeah.
I think I think that would be great for August when we're there, right?
Just do
and we just have pop up tea stands and see what people will do.
None of this cold sweetened rubbish.
Yeah. Proper British tea.
Take a box of Yorkshire tea with you.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think that it matters in America because they drink Twinings, and as we all know, Twinings is
not a
pile of rubbish.
It's when
not
it's
the
the
worst.
everyday. When it's the Twinings every day is so weak.
I need 3 tea bags to make a cup of
need
tea.
a lot of tea bags.
Twinings that I like is the extra strong.
The yellow label, the yellow packet.
Simon likes
No, I like the ones that are what they call the 1706 blend, which is the extra strong blend.
But it still doesn't make a builder's brew.
No.
You're still got to squeeze the life out of it. You know, and that's what makes me laugh is they could sell, and they're obviously sponsored by Twinings, and they sell lots of different kinds of tea in there that no one would ever buy other than a tourist. Twinings tea is genuinely fairly appalling, and it's not something I don't know anyone in the UK that buys
if anyone's working for Twinings,
I can't imagine why you would.
Just get in touch with us, and we'll gladly be corrected on that. If you want to send Send us some
If you
freebies,
could
like,
provide,
Yeah, I
that's
mean-
fine.
provide us some free samples. Yeah.
To be fair, Simon does. You do now
There
know
you go.
someone that buys Twinings. You know Simon because he buys the super strong
I
ones.
only ever
Is
buy
that
the.
what you drink? Genuinely drink that all the time?
No, I tend to be
If-
on whatever is a strong blend of tea. So if
He
it's
doesn't
like
have-
Assam or one of those type, like the 1706, I'll buy that. But it's
You buy the Yorkshire tea strong ones.
I have
Yeah.
done like I bought the gold ones of Yorkshire
Yeah.
tea as well. But I tend to buy whatever I think is looking like the strongest tea that you can find there. But I won't touch the like regular English breakfast ones because I think that's one of the weaker
just
teas. It has to be
insipid.
strong tea.
Brown
y-
water.
If I'm having Twinings, then I tend to go down the Darjeeling Ceylon
Ooh.
route.
That was
Yeah.
a bit
Do
posh.
you?
Posh,
Yeah.
Look at you being all
They're lighter.
exotic.
Yeah, a bit
know.
lighter.
Yeah. I like me a
It
Darjeeling.
needs to be Yorkshire tea.
It's the only thing you'll drink.
2 bags, Yorkshire tea, squeeze the life out, decent splash of milk. It's simple. It's,
I do
Too
it by
much
the
thought.
pot. I'm more of a
oh.
4-person pot for me will be more than adequate.
How suitable is this conversation in the UK? This is
Yeah.
But do you know what? Tea matters.
yeah.
I
does.
don't care.
Exactly.
Could this be any more
Exactly.
British? This conversation.
We're just trying to
We haven't
develop.
mentioned rain yet, so
We're trying to work on convincing
Definitely.
Twinings that they should sponsor at least
The Great
At
British
least
Mickey
They
one
did
or
a
two
tea
upcoming
tour.
shows.
Do you not remember?
Mm.
I think it
They
was
do
during
that in the
Food-
Fareham
yeah,
Garden, not
Fareham
Food and
Garden. They do a
Wine.
tea
Yeah.
tour, but they should do it. They should offer it all year round, or offer some sort of tea tasting ceremony.
or tea
Maybe-
tutorial of how to make
Yes,
it.
and how, yes, to include that. Yeah.
And maybe ask the Great British Mickey Waffle team to be brand ambassadors to
Brilliant.
take it to the next level and truly represent tea in the US. There we go.
Yeah, you do. So yeah, that's the tea caddy, and actually, it's a really cool building when you look inside because there's a mass. It goes right back into the 14th century, and there's a massive inglenook fireplace and lots of wood paneling around that building that you totally missed because of all the stuff that's in there. If you actually take a look, it's a beautiful, and the ceilings come lower as you go through the building. So at the back of the Regency, it's really high ceiling with a chandelier. By the time you get through to the front of the building, it's a low ceiling, dark wood, very traditional thatched cottage. And we had a conversation about thatching and the fact it does still happen in the UK, and it is a dying craft art to thatch a cottage. So, and interestingly, because it's Anne Hathaway's cottage, when you go out of the front door and you look straight across to the building, which has got the sportsman's shop in it, outside of that there is Shakespeare's garden. So Anne Hathaway's cottage looks like her husband's garden. Lucky it's not the other way around. So the sportsman's shop, which is the facade of that, is modelled on Hampton Court Palace. So when you look at the front of it, it looks characteristic like Hampton Court. That has a whole load of sporting goods inside it. So it sells things like golf things from St Andrews, weirdly Penhaligon scents. I don't know why Penhaligon is in there, but
Yeah.
it's obviously decided, much like Yardley, to be a particularly British smell. And then it also has some really cool Rose and Crown merch. So it's got like rugby shirts and sports shirts which have got Rose and Crown branding on them, which I think are quite fun. And it has got a few bits and pieces like Beatles, Monty Python t-shirts. I think there's one that says it's a shrubbery on it.
There's loads of
If I
there's
remember
loads of
correctly,
little
a green one.
nice little things that are within there. I think they even have Mars bars
Yeah.
at silly money as well, like that you would never pay that with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
I think
there being.
the weirdest thing we found was a Milky Bar, one of those that
Yeah.
you get in like Waitrose for like a
Yeah.
pound for like $6.
Yeah. And they've got crisps and various things like that in there around the back of there, which, there's some interesting bits of UK heritage. There's the Crown and Crest, which is the bit where you can get your family crest printed up for you, or look at your family tree type thing. And I'll just say that one of the cool things at Easter eggs is when people go in there, if you have a look at the crests that are on the mantelpiece, the cast members change them periodically, and it's often to do with what's going on in the world. So when Bridgerton came out, it was massive, and they'd actually put all the Bridgerton family crests up on the mantelpiece. So they swap them out for whatever's going on. So they'll, it's worth checking what they are.
It's really good.
There's also a little quiz
bit of
that
Easter
the
egg going
cast
on there.
members occasionally try and do in there as well, isn't there?
Oh,
You know,
yeah, I
which
forgot
is
about the
good
quiz.
because actually
Yeah.
coming from the UK, you would expect to win. You know, it just that little moment where the competitive part of you just sort of checks out, you know, because they're
know
all
what you're talking
very
about.
easy British questions if you come from the UK. So always worth a go.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the shop at the very back, which is the Toy Soldier, which has got the Pooh meet and greet at the very back of it. That's got things like Winnie the Pooh, Mary Poppins,
Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Peter Pan, yeah. And then it's got the Kid Cop stop at the very back as well. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of shopping in the UK. Loads of stores and not a huge array of food options. There is the Yorkshire County Fish Shop. What do we think of the fish and chips there?
Never tried
Never
it.
had them.
The chips. Can I just check? Rebecca, have you been to Epcot?
Yeah, have you been to Epcot?
Have you been to Epcot?
I don't go to Epcot in America to buy fish and chips.
It's
Have,
really
have,
difficult
have
from
you
like
been to
the
World
UK,
Showcase? Is that somewhere you've experienced?
Yes.
the UK perspective. It's difficult. It's like, do I really want sort of like fish and chips on a hot day?
But there
It's
definitely
not-
comes a time
Well, yeah,
in
you would do
Florida.
it at home. You'd go to the beach and get fish and chips.
Yeah. There comes a time in Florida as well when you're
Don't really eat
sick of eating the fries.
Yeah.
Because the fries come with everything
Disney
else.
fries are not good, and although the fish and chips there is not quite like having fish and chips from your local fish and chip shop,
No.
it's not bad, and the chips are chunky, and they are actually quite nice.
Actually,
they-
I had the chips
They
there.
provide vinegar. They provide vinegar.
Yeah,
Vinegar
got
and
vinegar,
and
salt,
tartar
and-
salt.
as
So
yeah.
I think the fish is
Yes, rather than cod, I
pollock,
had it.
isn't it?
Yeah.
They use.
I,
Yeah.
I
Say that.
was told
Okay.
by someone that worked there that it was catfish.
No, it's definitely not catfish.
I mean,
Catfish tastes of gravel. It's got
I
a
have
very
no idea.
characteristic taste. It's
I-
horrible.
I have
We-
no idea. She
I've had
worked in the
catfish,
fish
it
and
doesn't
chip
taste-
stand and told me that's what it was, but
Doesn't taste. And
She might have
catfish
been-
is a really
Clearly, we
specific
need
She
to
might
make
have
some
been
places
winding me
to
up.
our trip this month.
Didn't we have
Catfish
the
tastes of
chips when we
dirt.
went when we were with Barry and Maxine.
I don't know. I think
But we had chips on.
the only thing I can remember eating in the UK pavilion was it around a Jubilee
Yes.
where they served trifle,
It said
which wasn't
Central
tri-
Bay.
I was
we
gonna say
would call
tri-
American, well, British trifle. It was
Oh,
terrible.
well, it was terrible. It was not trifle.
Was it like Rachel and Phoebe's trifle? With the
It
mince
wasn't
in
as
it?
bad as that sounded,
beef
but
sauteed with peas and onions.
it wasn't great. It was like something crushed together. It was like $7 and didn't
No.
taste very good.
Pardon me.
I remember that. Yeah, I didn't have it, but I remember seeing it.
Um,
What
And then
is
you've
there
got-
to ever hate about trifle?
Well,
No,
yeah,
everything
wouldn't
I
have
read
called it trifle.
was pretty bad.
Jam.
it's got
Um,
soggy sponge.
good.
It's not a whim.
Dear me.
It was
Green
Not
dirt, meat dirt.
Cold custard, good.
No.
That's the only bit I like, the jelly and the cold custard.
I just eat it all. I'll eat the whole trifle without any problems.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just goes back to childhood trifle. It's one of those. It is a definite like from my childhood. Families making it around Christmas time. It was always there.
Yeah.
That was always my job, was to make the trifle.
I've just got visions of people
just have
listening to
jelly
this
on its
now,
own.
and the next
Or
time they
jelly
stop
and ice
off
cream.
at Tesco or Sainsbury's, and they'll be straight down that trifle aisle.
Buying a
It's like,
trifle.
oh, we haven't.
This is the
Yeah,
second
oh,
time
that's
we've
right,
mentioned
that's right,
Tesco's
that's
in this show.
Yeah, maybe they
More
should sponsor us.
sponsorship.
Yeah.
Sainsbury's,
please.
Asda, and Morrison's.
Other
Yeah.
supermarkets are
Are
available.
available.
Oh
I
yes.
think we should start talking about Waitrose.
Yeah.
Right? Let's
Waitrose.
start talking about
Let's
Waitrose.
talk about Waitrose.
Marks and Spencer's food
Yes.
call.
Yeah. But of course, there is obviously the Rose and Crown, and there's a dining hall part of the Rose and Crown, and there is the pub part of the Rose and Crown. So, Ben and Becca, have you been to the Rose and Crown? Shut up!
No.
Are you joking me?
Also,
The
not-
closest we've got to it is walking by
How-
and
Asked a few times.
I'm sorry, I'm
Door,
really
it's
trying
how
to
busy it
do
was.
it.
Walked away again.
I think
don't
we mentioned this a few times
understand.
before. We have
Sorry,
mentioned this
sorry,
before on the show,
no.
but no, we've never been to the Rose and Crown.
How many times have you been to Walt Disney World?
Yeah, but why do you want
Every
to
year
go
since
to a
2013.
British
Pint of
style
Guinness.
pub?
Apart from
That's one of the
2020.
key bits.
Nah, I'm not. Nah, I've not been in
I'm
either. Don't
absolutely
worry.
shocked.
We've
About
not been in,
15.
have
About
we?
15
Been
times.
in the pub.
And
Have
you've
we?
never been
I
in
think
the
this
Rose
might
and
be our
Crown?
16th
No,
trip.
I don't think I've
I'll
ever
have to
been
do a
in
proper count up.
If you're a regular
Wow.
listener
Yeah.
and you're driving,
We've never eaten it.
And
Oh
you,
no, I have eaten it.
We might be
I did.
pre-gaming
Yeah.
our
I feel like we need an extra show. We need an additional show where it's like we can.
the stuff that
things
we
that
This
Ben and
we've
Becca
got
haven't
into
done.
in Walt Disney World.
yeah. If someone's
Just
driving and listening to this,
I'll
and
write
you
this down on our
now
list
just had a
somewhere.
crash, we do apologise. You know, it's taken to this. Yeah,
My dad's been
everyone's
to
seen
the
the
Rose
Rose
and
and Crown.
Crown.
Okay.
I don't see the appeal. I don't see the appeal at all. I can go to a pub back home. Why am I going to do that when I'm in America?
Because they do a decent drink
Yeah.
as opposed
There's
to Bud
plenty.
Light.
You know there's a margarita stand around the corner in Mexico, right?
Yeah, but you don't always want a margarita. And, you know,
You
It's
know,
also broccoli.
no.
Great
I always
Start
want a
doing
is
that
the
margarita.
bridge.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes what you want is a pint of
Oh,
strong
yeah.
brew.
I'll never want
I-
that,
okay,
Claire.
yeah.
I
I'll
actually
never
think
want
it's-
that.
Ben's
It's
like,
one
I'm
of
in.
Yeah,
again,
I'm in.
like Simon
How have I
said
missed
before.
this 16 times?
We've had
Yeah.
a drink, but not from the Rose and Crown.
No, we've had a drink from the
The stand
That's
outside.
down when they did the
yeah, stand
Yeah.
outside.
was it Food and Wine or one of the festivals?
And the
They do
Joffrey's
sometimes do like a
coffee
beer
cup.
stand outside.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like Simon said before about if you've been in the States
Mm.
for probably more than a week and you're sick to death of Disney fries, if you've been drinking American beer for more than a week, you are very much glad of a quick trip into the Rose and Crown. Even if you drink something that you wouldn't normally, do a really nice pint of Bass. I would never ever go to a pub in the UK and buy a Bass hand pulled out, but it's really nice over there.
Ever
No.
find Bass anywhere?
Is that because
No,
there aren't
I
any
think-
pubs
yeah, I
that serve
think
bass in the
exactly
UK
it, isn't
anymore?
it?
They don't-
Bass and Harp.
Yeah. See, this is the reason to make sure that anyone listening or watching is subscribed to all of our social media, because you never know when we're going to
Yeah.
step into the
Yeah.
Rose and Crown in August.
Get a pint of what's it? Bombardier.
Don't start on that one.
Bombardier.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, so the Rose and Crown, the dining room, actually, if you're looking for somewhere to sit to eat
Does.
and watch the fireworks, has
And the
an
food's,
amazing view.
food's
over
pretty
the
good as
lagoon.
well, Claire, to be
Um,
honest.
If you,
Yeah, we did for my
I've not eaten in there.
my birthday, my 50th in 2019. We went there, and the Scotch egg was superb, must admit. Highlight.
Hmm. Excellent,
So
excellent.
I have eaten in there. I ate there, and again, it was because my friend was
You get-
working in there.
You get a discount.
So we went in to eat, and it was all right.
Oh,
I don't think we
No.
got any discount on top of. I think we just used the annual.
That's
I might
even
have had a
better.
Tables in Wonderland card at that point. Actually, I think we had 20% off. But yeah, it was fine. I went with American people, so they were. Again, as a
Yeah.
British person, I don't see the point in going and
Yes,
eating
I
an
agree with that.
American version of a British food.
Yeah.
So
And then around the UK pavilion, there is a few cool things, like there's the phone booths, 3 phone booths. Play how many people can we squish in the phone booth.
on a
favourite
nice
teenage-
August day.
That favourite teenage game from the UK.
they are very good.
The refurbished toilets, they're very nice. And I think, there are lots of places around the lagoon edge to watch
And
fireworks from.
even
in
the
UK,
bridge
get a
between
reasonable
the
view.
UK and France.
You don't
France
have
is a
to be in the
really
restaurant.
good place to just hang out
Yeah,
and
yeah.
actually get a decent view of the fireworks. The
Mm-hmm.
one thing as well, I think we learnt this last year, Claire, was when you get to the cross, it's like the town cross in the centre of the roadway,
Mm.
opposite the Rose and Crown. If you look at it carefully, it's actually a sundial. And we hadn't been totally aware of that until we actually went and just sussed it out.
Yeah.
Rather than walking past it and just thinking, oh, well, there you go, it's like the town cross. But it is actually a sundial. And again, one of them things that loads of people just miss.
I missed out. There is a Alice in Wonderland meet and
And
greet
Mary
sometimes,
Poppins is
and-
occasionally.
And Mary
Yeah.
Poppins often.
Oh, I've never
Yeah.
met
Yeah.
Mary.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mary meets
Round the back?
behind. Yes,
Just-
yeah,
yeah,
around the back.
Again, it's not an easy one
Meets at the back
to
of the.
plan for because it seems to be one of them ad hoc ones. Alice is a little bit more prominent next to the Anne Hathaway cottage. Yeah. But
Tea caddy. Yeah.
yeah,
I think you can find the
Just-
times on the app.
it's
I
well
usually
worth
look
it.
on the
Yeah,
app and it
it's
gives
good. It's
you
well worth
the
doing.
times to meet Mary as well.
Yeah, we met Mary Poppins actually. She was just outside the Rose and Crown.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was-
sometimes she moves there
So-
if the sun is in the wrong place and it's too
Afternoon-
hot where she normally
afternoon on
meets.
the
Are you
lash.
suggesting that Mary
That's
Poppins
it.
has been to the Rose and Crown before you? That's it. That would be
Yeah.
Practically
great
perfect.
attraction. Afternoon session with Mary.
A little bit of a shout out as well, because actually there was a
Spoons.
lovely lady who used to play piano in the Rose and Crown. Yeah, and she was just absolutely
Oh,
superb. She
Carol.
was
Yes.
again just one of those characters that just brought together that whole sort of
What was
old
called the Hat Lady?
British pub mentality, and yeah, no longer is she.
Mm.
She's no longer playing piano in
Take
there,
requests and
unfortunately.
play. No, she does
Yeah.
play in the
Grand
lobby of the Grand Floridian
Floridian.
now and again. So, okay, we're nearly there. Let's get a quick transatlantic flight to Canada, or in our family, as we always call it, Canada. I don't know why. It's just one of those things. And the Canada Pavilions had a recent update with a new area that has opened, which I do have some photos of that I will put in the Waffler's Arms. But as you come into the pavilion, you've got that big stage on the left-hand side that's had a number of different things on it and in it over the years. Currently, I don't think anything's in it, sadly. But there was
Much missed.
Off Kilter for a long time, which are amazing. And then there was the
Oh, it was the
I was gonna
woodcutter
say the
thing,
axe
wasn't it? It was
throwers.
just
I
like,
don't mean that, do
yeah,
I?
what was that? That's still,
The
yeah,
woodcutting,
I don't know
yeah.
what on earth that was all about.
The
Yeah, bizarre.
chopping wood to music. Yeah.
Much of that
but
myth
Famous band
Hey,
by the time.
August.
yeah. So, but as you walk through there, there's then the photo op on the left hand side, which has got like the totem poles, and then the like the masks where I think there's like 5 different holes in the board, and people stick their faces in
Yeah.
like the toucan mask and various things. It's quite cool. I think everyone's done that at some point,
It
hopefully.
has to be done.
If you haven't, next time. And then if you go up the stairs on the left hand side, there you get to a couple of shops. You've got the trading post and the Northwest Mercantile. I do quite like those shops. They've got some cool stuff in them. Have you been in there,
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes, have been in there. Brought some merchandise from in there as well.
Did you buy the beaver butt lip balm?
No.
But we did laugh at it.
Did laugh at it.
Ah, and the beaver plush.
We didn't buy the plush.
No, we got a husky plush.
It's a joke in there. I'm not going to say it. They have some cool clothing though. I think Morgan bought a T-shirt last time we were in there, and they had like cool, like if you think of what was that TV show Due South,
Yeah.
which is like all the Canadian.
Yeah.
9 years.
I mean, that's going back.
That's going back a while.
I was slightly disappointed they don't have like a Mountie costume for people to try on. Or even a Mountie photo op that you just stick your face in. You know, like the old
that would be
seaside
good.
ones. That would be cool. Rocky and Bullwinkle style. I know that's at the
Yeah.
park. And then that new area that has opened at the top of those steps, which is the new DVC selling area, which has been opened in the building that's been there all the time. It looks like Chateau Laurier in Ottawa, which is the hotel with like the green roof in Ottawa. But within that is now the downstairs bit where you walk in is now the DVC lounge area where they use it to talk to potential DVC buyers. They have a bar area, they have drinks, they have snacks, and very cool around there's always like a high skirting all the way around. There's a little train that travels around the outside of the building constantly. I've got a little picture and a video of that I will share that Morgan took when we were in there.
It's interesting
And-
that they've put a DVC sort of place that you can purchase in a park. Because it used to be like, you go to the stand and they would chuck you in the back of a van, take you to a resort, and tell
sounds
you to buy
dodgy.
it. It does, doesn't it? But
I think they're probably getting really good footfall there because,
Yeah.
you know, give it 40 minutes, they're done and dusted and then move on. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
What minutes of air
And the
conditioning?
upstairs, in there, it's a nice environment. And you go upstairs in the lift and you come out and it's a mock up of the inside of the Poly Tower, the Poly
Island
new
Tower.
rooms. Yeah, so it's a 1 bedroom they've got mocked up in there.
Nice.
And it's really lovely actually. It's a nice environment. I still didn't buy a DVC, but I was very happy to listen to her and get my $100 gift card.
Yes.
Just saying, people. So that's up there. There's also some new, because they put that bit inside, they've actually put some new restrooms up top as well. So there is a restroom, sort of a all access restroom So for people who have mobility needs and like there is a nice restroom up there. However, you have to go upstairs to get to it.
That seems like an oxymoron.
Yeah, someone didn't think it through.
It's like someone's designed it and gone, oh, we don't know where it's going, but this is the design for it. And like someone hasn't gone like, this
Yeah.
must be on the ground floor.
I don't remember there being any slope to get up to it that you could wheel a wheelchair or drive a ECP or anything.
Okay.
And then there are some steps down at the back that will take you round to the back by the waterfalls. So that would bring you down by the waterfalls, which are a beautiful photo op if they're turned on. I'm sure there's a switch somewhere backstage that turns them on and off. That leads into the sort of the underground area, which is where they have the show, which is now Canada Far and Wide, Circle 360 film, narrated by Catherine O'Hara and
Eugene Levy, isn't it?
Leaving.
yes, that's
Yeah.
it. I mean, I miss Martin Short. Let's face it, and Oh Canada, but it's still an amazing film, and I
I
think.
have to say I haven't seen it.
Have you seen it, Rebecca?
I think it was playing. It was
I'm now gonna ask
playing,
Well,
this
the last
every
time we went into that area, it was the apple cider thing for the Wine Festival.
but it's still playing in the background.
It's
You should
fabulous.
make the effort to go and watch it. It is beautiful, and every time I stand there, I feel like I need to go and visit
Yeah.
Canada and explore all of Canada, which is, I mean, it should be top sponsored by the Canadian Tourist Board, really. And then obviously it's got best song any attraction in Walt Disney, certainly in EPCOT, which is Oh Canada. Need to learn all the words in French and English. Thank you very much. And sing the harmonies loudly.
I've got to say,
That's the
I
one.
actually feel that the
Anyone who
Canada
comes to watch.
Pavilion is one that is truly representative of actually a Canadian holiday. Now, this is I'm going back 2006. We had a summer where we did go to Canada, and like from the totem poles that are within Vancouver, and I think it's Victoria Park or something, and they were very similar to that. But then we went to Vancouver Island, and then had the absolute joy of going to the Butchart Garden and being able to see how they've managed to replicate that garden within the Canada Pavilion. And it brings back memories of that trip as well. And I just feel that is what each of these pavilions throughout EPCOT have done quite just incredibly well in just one, like you said, Claire, making you want to go and explore a little bit more of the culture. But that new film that's within there just takes it that little step further into the parts. Canada is the most massive country you would ever wish. Yeah, it's just like you can't get your head
huge,
around
isn't
it. Canadians will drive for days to go from one side to the other, and they've only just gone like a short on the map. It only looks as if you've gone like a short distance.
Across one of
and
the
like,
provinces. It's really not very far.
Back from Vancouver Island. Now, Vancouver Island isn't in Vancouver. I'll tell you now. It's a ferry journey away, and it's a good few hours on a ferry. But that was one highlight, probably of my entire life of seeing the world. But when we got back to Vancouver, we then got in a car and we travelled 4 hours to British Columbia, and we went to a place near, and my mind's gone, a place where my wife has family. I'll put it that way. It's close to Vernon, and it's just absolutely incredible. But you've gone nowhere on the map. So for all your 4 hours of driving, it didn't. In the UK, you'd look at that and you'd be like, oh, you'd be halfway to Glasgow and things like that. Yeah, and it's just like it was nowhere.
It's so expansive. It's really hard to reconcile how massive Canada is. And I watched that film and I'm just like, it goes from Vancouver Island right over to Halifax and Prince Edward Island on the east coast, and then everything in between with Montreal and Ottawa. And, it's so diverse, and I absolutely love watching that film. I think it's like 12 or 13 minutes long, and it's totally worth every one of those minutes. I love it. In terms of food in the Canada Pavilion, you've got Le Cellier, which is a fairly small table service restaurant, signature.
And by small, you
It's
mean you eat with
it's a
other people
surprisingly
practically.
small
Sitting on your
place,
lap.
isn't it? You know, when you
They
go and
do.
you're expecting this nice, big, plush
I mean,
restaurant, and it's just like, oh, it's like,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, the name
yeah,
kind of gives it away
Yeah.
that
it
you are in the
basically is,
cellar
yeah.
of the
Yeah.
the building, but it's a very small restaurant, and it used to be like years ago, like so difficult to get an ADR. It's not so hard anymore. But the food is excellent, and the service, we've had some outstanding service in that restaurant. It's somewhere that I always have
Yeah.
sort of on the back of the planner, like, can we fit it in? Can we get there? And it often drops off just
Yep.
because it's not cheap. And if you're on the dining plan, it's 2 credits, and it's a good use of 2 credits, but you've got to be prepared to A, be hot, and B, sit very close to some people you might not know.
Yeah.
But the food's good.
It's a difficult choice, though.
Yeah. Food's
And
good.
then they have the maple popcorn stand. Becca, have you had the maple popcorn?
No, I've smelled the maple popcorn.
I feel like
No,
we're an
not
embarrassment to
so.
the show tonight.
Well, I kind of feel that there's
I-
something about you letting
I
the sides
think in
out here. In
August,
fact, on
in
all of
August,
these
Claire,
EPCOT
we're
shows,
now
This
we're
is a
now
bingo
we're now
card.
on that
What can we do
bit,
in August?
Yeah.
we just need to.
it's like
Like
Sammy all over again.
Yeah.
No, we've had chicken nuggets. Don't worry.
Yeah,
No, we've actually been into the pavilions and looked
we'll just
around.
need
We're
to
just
lead
not
you
eating it in
astray.
the
That's it.
places.
No, but we've had this conversation many times, and Becca, I think was it last month when Ben wasn't with us, and you were like, "No, we've never been into the back of the Morocco Pavilion. No, we've not gone back there. No, definitely haven't
Not
done
in
that."
a very
And it's
long
just like-
time. Not right to the back.
And so there is something about the fact that
It's
all
either our
these
memories
trips-
are terrible.
That
I
could
need
No,
to
I
look
just
through
don't
our photo memories and see where we've been
Yeah.
in Epcot.
I'm slightly suspicious that your GB Mickey Waffle credentials might be at risk here.
We can't
That's
play
all
with
right,
that.
Claire,
We
you can
can't poke
host.
at that,
Claire
Claire.
can,
Yeah.
Claire can host.
Yeah.
It's all good. All good.
Yeah.
You've done so well this year, Claire.
I'm exhausted by this. But let's finish off Canada. I mean, I think Canada Pavilion is beautiful, and some of those gardens, you get amazing photos. Often you'll find some wild ducks floating around in there anyway. But it is a lovely, lovely pavilion, but it isn't very big. So, by the time you've made your way to the back and past the waterfalls and got a bit of spray and then go and watch Canada far and wide, you've kind of done all there is there. But
Yeah.
it is definitely worth a walk round, even just for a moment of, calm. There are a couple of benches down by the Victoria Gardens. You can just
Yeah.
have a little seat and a thought. I like it.
It's nice for that, definitely. There's not
Yeah.
many benches around Disney anymore, and it's nice. It's a nice area that's quiet.
And they change the flowers out seasonally as well.
Yeah.
They always look stunning.
It's a gorgeous area.
So there we are. We've made it the correct way round World Showcase. To the end. We're still standing. We are not even one drink in, let alone 11. And Ben and Becca have a whole list of things to do
Yes.
Very much
in a
so.
couple of weeks.
Can't wait.
Going back to our review of them all, now having talked about all 11 pavilions, where would your favourite pavilion be, do you
Ooh.
think?
Yeah.
Just
Like
as
asking me to choose a
Ooh.
favourite child.
well, I'm going to do that.
I still
pick one.
think Japan.
Yeah.
And I
If you
wasn't
could go to
unsure,
any
but
pavilion right now, right here, right now, to quote Fatboy Slim, where would you go?
Japan, Koi Pond. Just sit, relax.
Sitting in it?
No, but sit next to just enjoy the atmosphere. I don't want to get thrown out of Epcot, but no, just that area, just to take in just a bit of moment, bit of time.
Gonna say Mexico. I do like the Mexico Pavilion.
As far away from me as possible, clearly.
Yeah, but they have margaritas.
Yeah.
And the
Oh,
Through
lovely.
Caballero is a cute ride. And it's air conditioned.
I don't think I can choose. I love Japan, and Mexico would have been my next option. I think after that would probably be France,
Wow.
because I do like the France area. I like just hanging out in that area.
Simon?
I want to pick America as my number one. When
Why?
there's, if his Eat to the Beat concerts are on or Voices of Liberty, that pavilion always
And it's
Pulls-
got the good
draws me.
toilets after all.
good toilets, lots of aircon in there. And actually, festival food at the American Pavilion, I always enjoy that. That's on offer, but it's always the concerts on the amphitheatre and the Voices of Liberty is
Voices of Liberty in America for me is the one
John?
that just is beyond compare, and I think it's the same as you, Simon. It becomes a standout part of the whole of World Showcase. It's in the right part of World Showcase because you actually need to make the effort to get there. But yeah, it's just and for me, just going to see Voices of Liberty and then just chilling out. Yeah,
we'll always just plan. We'll plan that time.
Yeah.
We'll say which Voices of Liberty show we're going to get to.
We do tend to do
and
that.
we'll make sure we're arrive plenty of time for that one show, and then we'll probably watch the next one afterwards, and maybe the one after that.
But you can't help it though. And
Depending how hot
again,
it
I
is
think that's one of
outside.
the beauties of it, and I think that for me is one thing that, again, if you don't make the effort to go and explore these pavilions, then you'd miss it, and you would never know that it was actually there. And I think that for me it's one of the great and the most special finds that you ever have going around Epcot. Claire, what about you? Yeah.
No, I was the same with you guys. I was with Voices of Liberty in the USA, without a question. That would be my go-to. If someone said to me, you can only go and do one thing in all of Epcot, it far above Living with the Land, Guardians of the Galaxy, take me to America. I want to watch Voices of Liberty and listen to them. So
Yeah, I think
that would be where my heart is, without a doubt. So yeah. But do you know what? World Showcase has so much to offer that Ben and Becca have never seen.
Even in 15 trips.
So, it's the gift that keeps giving.
Hold on a minute, Claire. Sammy's on the phone. Here we go. She's like, I got to,
We will happily take on the accolade over Sammy.
Well, you
She
might have
passed
to
the
pick
buck.
things off the list.
But I think
I mean,
it just goes
yeah.
to show, doesn't it, that there's so much to see and do in all of Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
And people say, well, why do you
Yeah.
keep going back? Surely you've
That's
seen it and done it all now. No, you
We've
haven't.
only covered
There's
half
so much.
of Epcot.
why do you need 4 days in Epcot?
Yeah,
That's why.
There
It's
you
taken
go.
us 4 months.
I get to the
Cover it.
margarita stand, and then I stand there for 6 hours, get drunk, and then leave.
So you little sit down in the concert halfway through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
And then I'm urging, I need a kebab after that, and I just can't get one of those.
That's at the other
Chips,
UK
that's it.
pavilion.
Yeah.
That's what they say, kebab house and
Yeah.
spoons. We
Definitely.
could revolutionise that UK pavilion. We'd make it far more profitable.
Fights outside on a Friday evening,
Right.
just go the whole hog.
Pictures
do
of
the lot.
cocktails.
Yeah.
We can do the works. They should turn it over to us just for a little while. We'll see how much money we can make. I think it's been really cool to talk about them all and to think about all the little details that often do get overlooked. Let us know in the chat, in the feedback, in the Waffler's Arms what you think. I mean, obviously, we've now completed our little tour. I'm not suggesting we do this for every park, but, it's been fun to do a little bit of a deep dive in Simon style of what we would be talking about. So thank you. There is obviously the conversation to have around if you were going to add another country, what would it be and where would it be?
Definitely.
I think we can keep
Yeah,
that for a future
definitely.
discussion, a future podcast, or a Wednesday live show. But
We
thank
can't
you.
mention Brazil.
Yeah.
Well, we already have talked about Brazil.
Yeah.
Things.
Brazil. Whatever happened to it?
You started by talking about Greece. So let's put a post-it note on that one. Stick a pin in it, and we will have that conversation in the future. Because after all these years, I don't think we've actually had that discussion. So it'd be cool to do that. And maybe we can little bit poll in the Waffler's Arms, see what other people think.
Yeah.
Engage with that. Thank you so much. I know that I've hosted 4
You're
shows.
quite proud of that, Claire.
Because this was
Thank
my
you.
idea.
But a massive thank you to you because actually you've done so
Feel
much
proud of it.
research and putting these
Yeah,
shows
it's a
together.
lot of
And
work.
actually, without doing that,
It's been
we
really
certainly
fun.
wouldn't have had
It's been
the
fun.
depth of conversation that we've managed to do over the past 4 months. So a massive thank you to you. And it's
You're
been
welcome. I'm
really
sure
good
that
fun.
everyone's fed up listening
And
to me
and
talking about
actually
it.
one of the things I'm looking
Absolutely
forward
not.
to this month is actually listening to the shows whilst I'm in each of those pavilions, because until you actually take the time to actually understand why certain things are where they are and why the original design was there, you kind of just take it for granted in a way. And I think if anything else over these past 4 shows, we've hopefully managed to get people to do is actually just look at that little extra detail and that little extra recognition that so many things are there for a reason, but because of the lives that we lead and everything's immediate, we don't look at the history and we don't look at the reason why it was put there in the first place. And I think that for me is something that, I'll certainly look at Epcot in a different way again, just to see if there's anything we've missed.
I was trying to add up how long the shows were. I think the first one was like 2 hours. And the second was like, we had 3 at like an hour and a half, maybe. So you're going to need a fair old day in Epcot to go through it all.
So I'm looking forward to if anyone is in Epcot during August and sees John with his headphones in, walking around the pavilions. Don't forget to say
Not till 9.
Ignoring his poor wife.
She's used to it. Yeah.
In the Rose and Crown.
But also, and I think this is also a pertinent time to say, I know we said it on the Wednesday show as well, with so many of us being in Orlando over the summer. And if you're a regular viewer or listener to the show, and if you see us in any of the parks, please do just say hello, because actually it's such an amazing feeling. It happened to us last year, but we don't know who you are. But if you know who we are, then please just don't be embarrassed. Just say hello. We won't bite, I promise.
Maybe Claire.
There are so many answers to that I have not done.
It's about time to say goodbye then, I think.
I think so.
On that note.
We'll leave it there. But genuinely, guys, it's been amazing the last few months to talk about this stuff. Next month, who knows? It'll be something different for September. We'll have lots of stories of our trips. And we look forward to seeing you all on the other side of, Robin and Simon, you're obviously not going to Orlando, but we'll see you on the other side of our trips. I'm looking forward to the rain that is there in Orlando at the moment being gone by the time we get there, because it is unbelievably torrential rain.
That's why it's raining now, to get it out of the way before my trip.
That's what I said. I said that to someone just this morning. I said, excellent. Thank you very much for that video of the rain. Please let it be done and dusted in the next couple of weeks, and then we will have it nice and dry. So that's my hope. But
I like your thinking.
Fingers
I
crossed.
know.
It has to be.
Endless
Optimistic.
optimism.
Yeah.
But thank you, everyone. We will be back with you in a few weeks' time. We've got a show out on the 15th of August, and then back on the 1st of September. So thank you very much. And as we'll see you soon.
We'll see you real soon.
Now my wheels in motion and my window